Mitch, first of all, reaction to the fact that this tournament is happening here in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We haven't been back to Zimbabwe since 2016, so it's a great opportunity here to play. Zimbabwe, who are actually a very good team, and obviously South Africa as well. So looking forward to this. It's going to be a great series, no doubt, and I'm sure there'll be a few people watching, which is always good.
Right. The Netherlands obviously the start due to injury. You just talk about how that affects the team, and then also having someone active on Conway and then being able to come up to build that which was replacements, I'm sure.
Yeah, obviously Finn had a pretty good MLC, so it's a shame for him that he's obviously out. But we know how destructive he can be, and now we've got a guy like Devon who's coming back in, who's obviously a very talented player, done it before. Good against some quick bowling. We'll see some good paces on show this series. So obviously nice to have him back in the setup for us.
Obviously, a lot of teams are looking at this as a series like this is a cycle, the start of the cycle to the next T20 World Cup. What are your expectations?
Yeah, I think it is there. It's obviously a good starting point to, we've got a lot of white ball cricket coming up, and we're obviously thinking for that T20 World Cup. So it's a great start against two very good sides. We've got a few different faces here, and I guess we're kind of looking to obviously win the series and play some good cricket, but also look at some combinations going forward. I guess with the MLC, a few guys aren't here at the moment, but it might create some opportunities for other people to play, and it's good for us.
I think you just spoke to the new cases. Just tell us the balancing act that comes into it. I know you did mention the fact that it's kind of the start of a new cycle. How much is of it do you win, especially when it comes to the squad and place and choosing? How much is it win now versus we're trying to think maybe about it building some nice for you to promote?
Yeah, I think it's a juggling act. I think first things first, you want to come here and perform and win games for New Zealand. Especially we know how good both these sides are in this competition. Then I guess in the back of your mind, you're thinking, further ahead to India and Sri Lanka. So, but before that, we've got a lot of games at home as well. You want to prove yourself in different conditions, and Zimbabwe here is going to play different to what is going to be back in New Zealand. So potentially what we could face in India as well. So I guess finding the right combinations and the right times for those kind of those major events.
So try series like this, like a tournament type of cricket, feels like it's a dying art because it doesn't happen quite as often. How do you prepare for yourself for this, and what do you think it lends to your preparations for ICC tournaments?
Yeah, I guess it's got more of a competition feel, versus just a five match bilateral series. So it's, I enjoy the tri series aspect. You come up against a couple of different oppositions and with different challenges on different surfaces. So we know both teams are going to be pretty good in this competition. So and then I guess the more you can experience playing, teams in different conditions, you're going to put you in a better place to, if you do have to face them in, I guess, those kind of tournaments.
Looking at South Africa, for example, we've got exciting talent like Andre Pretorius, who's done well in the SA20. Zimbabwe, we've got Brian and Bennett. What are your plans for, you'll look at that, some of that talent is being plucked from nowhere and impressed, and that's a different challenge for you, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's probably a different look, slightly different South African team that we're probably going to face to what we've had in the past. And obviously there's a couple of unknowns with the Zimbabwean team, but I guess we had a good scouting meeting today. We've looked at footage of both teams. We know, there's some explosive players in both lineups, and, combated with some good skills with the ball. So I guess out there we'll see. I guess we'll have a good look tomorrow, what the pitch plays like, but usually it's pretty good here, and it could be some high scoring games. And I think you have your plans in place for each batter, but I think the conditions might outweigh some of those plans, especially if there's a big side and that's kind of into the wind. So it kind of gives you an understanding of how to operate on those wickets.
So speaking specifically about Zimbabwe not hosted so many high profile, they hosted World Cup like 30 years ago and so forth, and a couple of qualifiers, but having such high quality team, what do you think it does for the profile of Zimbabwe?
I think it's massive. Obviously, it's massive for the players and the country as well. So as a team, you want to play against the best and show your skills against the best team. So the more Zimbabwe can play, and we've obviously seen how good they are. So it's big for them, and I think they'll treat the series as a good chance to beat us and South Africa, and put them in good stead going forward for major events.
And finally, completely out of left field, the first FTP match for Zimbabwe is going to be against New Zealand women in New Zealand. What is the excitement about that? Is there anyone talked about it? I know it's a different, group of players, but what are your thoughts on that?
Again, I think it's massive for Zimbabwe cricket. You want to test yourself against some of the best players in the world, and White Ferns are playing some good cricket. So I think both teams will be looking forward to that challenge. The more you can play around the world, the more you get an understanding of how conditions play, and so next time you're there, you're better suited, and that's no different for the Zimbabwean women going to New Zealand.
Mitch, obviously you guys have been all over the world playing cricket. What's it quite like to come back together as a Black Caps group?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, like you said, guys have been all over the place playing different franchise stuff, and that creates its own challenges and opportunities. But nice to, I guess, be back as a unit. Some guys have been in New Zealand training, some guys have been UK, America. So to get back as a unit, and like we said before, it's the start of an exciting white ball period. Starts now. We've got a lot of white ball games coming forward, and obviously the end goal is the World Cup. So we all want guys to be striving going in the same direction, and that's the end goal. But again, like I said, it's a big series. It's a good start against two very good teams.
And Rob Walters' first tour Black Caps, and how have you enjoyed working with him so far?
Yeah, he's been good. He's reached out a lot when I've been in the UK. We've chatted through a lot of things, and the boys are really happy with what he started with. The stuff back home, the camps and stuff. So he's he brings a different spin, but it's a new group here, and he's obviously got that experience and done a great job with South Africa. So boys are pretty excited to see what we can do together.
Thanks.